Time to start the stream. I'm gonna go live and post to late Discord. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. All right. Patreon. Go. Ooh. Patreon stream is live. Hooray! Hooray! Okay, I need to sneeze. Don't sneeze. Okay, made it. Hello, um, everybody, whoever arrives to this wonderful stream. Um, Happy end of April, end of tax season. Hi, Zach. I hope everybody had a lovely April. I hope the taxes didn't bite anybody too hard today. Um, yeah, let it out. Oh, let the sneeze out? No. No, I don't want to. It's too late. It wouldn't come. I tried to, but it wouldn't come. It's so sad. Um, yeah, you have arrived to this wonderful stream. Thank you, Zach. I'm glad you're here. Um, Hi, Harvest. How are you? Yay, there's people here. I'm happy about it. I'm excited too. Now I get to practice again for the Nancy stream next month, so that's going to be really fun. I'm really looking forward to it. I have to pull out my computer and hook it all up, um, and do all those shenanigans. So that should be like, I don't know. I'm very excited for it. I think I've been missing the stream. I've been missing the fold. I think it's going to be a very fun time uh, together to to stream it. So I'm happy to do a like anniversary stream in that way. A truly terrible April. Oh yeah, that's fair. You said that April was kind of tough. So, well, hopefully all that means is that next month is going to be way better for you. Hopefully, I hope. Yeah. Honestly, it's impressive that you were able, like you said, you were doing 100 words a day. That's impressive considering how you said you were struggling. I know that there's been times when I haven't managed to do even that, so you should feel very proud. Um, yeah. Um, Also, I don't know who here is interested in the farming of the games, but the Tales of the Shire game released a trailer recently, and I can't tell if it's going to be a good game or not, but I am going to be able to be a hobbit. So I've been excited about that. I'm excited for Nancy. I'm excited for Tales of the Shire. Oh, I have left my studio, so I am now solo again, and I all I need to do is finish up the AI game that I'm making, and then I will be able to be truly solo. I'm diving back in to learning a lot of art. Let me tell you, this AI game is like, woof, I feel like I bit off a whole bunch. I don't know that, yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. There's so many terms. Um, Been on a lot of paleo lately. Nice, nice. It seems cute. Yeah, yeah. I'm hoping it'll be good. I've also been playing a lot of Immortal Life, which is a Chinese farming sim, kind of more similar to Rune Factory. It's really good. The more I play, the more I'm just like, wow, this game keeps getting better and better. The translation can be a little bit weird occasionally, but that's really, and like the presentation is maybe not like the most polished. But I'm fine with that because the content is incredible, and like the people that you can like, I think you can romance them. I don't know. They have a roommate system, so I don't know if it's romance or if you're just buds or whatever. But it's been interesting to see the archetypes, the character archetypes from a Chinese game because I'm not actually as familiar with them, and I don't really think Genshin Impact necessarily leans too hard into that. I think Genshin Impact kind of went for a more global, like all different kinds. So, um, Immortal Life, yeah, I'll have to talk to Marky about it. It's been really fun. Right before I went to bed, I'm almost on fall. I just unlocked this like Oh my God, there was this like glowing ghost lady who came to me. I'm hyped. Yeah, so good game. Um, Up here you can see, I just wanted to show off, you can see my notes. These are my notes filled with all of the glossary terms that are going to be in different routes, different scenarios in this AI game. And last night, as I was going to sleep, I had this brilliant idea, which I think is maybe the idea that I've been waiting for. You can like barely see that in what I what I held up. I wiggled it too much. I'll do this. You can see it maybe a bit more if it's close. I don't know. Anyways, um, sometimes this thing happens. Harvest, I wonder if you might be able to relate to it or not. I feel like this happens. Yeah, it's not what I feel like. This does happen every time I make anything. But I like, you have the broad steps of what you need to do. So for me, it's like first, at least with this AI game, I can talk about the process. So first, you know, they came to me, they told me the game that they want. We had a meeting and yeah, girl, I don't know. All it is terms. You could Google them all. Are you interested in learning about what compatibilists are? Or perhaps would you like to learn? Let me just try to pick some of the weirder words that I have here. Would you like to learn about consequentialism? How about Kant's categorical imperatives? Would you like to know about the difference between sycophancy and supervised learning? Do you know what a Shoggoth is? How about the concept of robustness or the reversal curse as it applies to AI? This is like literally like so I had to do all this research. Um, so yeah, so we met for the first meeting. They told me like about the game that they wanted to make and like what they wanted it to do, which was like they had a lot of different things that they wanted to do. And like I didn't know how to put it all into a game, but I was like, okay, cool. Sounds like the first thing I need to do is a whole bunch of research. Oh, Shogoff, you do? It's a meme, so that might be yeah one of the. I haven't seen the meme. Okay, well, okay. The Daedric Prince is not necessarily the meaning of the meme. Um, but it actually might be related to the myth. I'll have to actually look up the origin of what the meme. I just know how the meme applies to AI. I don't necessarily know the true origins. But yeah, so then I did like a month and a half or 2 months of research on all this stuff to like understand what was going on. After which point, I put together a game design document, which was an extremely broad level overview. Oh, you made it up. Damn it. It could be Cthulhu. If it's Cthulhu related, that makes a lot of sense. I think Shoggoth is related to the, it's like about when AI, the concept of AI gaining sentience, but it's like a kind of a nuanced take on like which kind of sentience AI would get because there's a whole bunch of different terms for a bunch of different kinds of sentiences. Bet you guys didn't know there was more than one. Um, so yeah, I made a game doc which was like a really broad overview of like what are the goals that we're doing here. I sketched out some like potential UI. I sketched out so like all the menus, the dialogue interface, like basic things like skip button, timelines. I sketched out extremely broad level scenarios. So just like here's the different kinds of roles I think we should have and the different kinds of topics the scenarios should cover. And once they looked at that and they approved that, I moved on to sketching the character profiles because for me, I need characters before I can finish building scenarios. So I built out different character profiles for all the different characters, which in this game is going to function in such a way where when you're playing a specific scenario, you don't take on the role of a character, at least right now. I might change this, but you don't take on the role of a character, you're just you, but you're interacting with the other characters. So each time you play a new scenario, if you're a data scientist in this one scenario and then you're the AI ethicist in the next scenario, the data scientist becomes the character profile that I've created. But when you're playing as a data scientist, you just are your own person. You don't like necessarily, you take on the data scientist's life circumstances, but you don't take on the personality. So I made the character profiles, and then after the character profiles, they asked for mini games and like the gameplay loop. So I built out a broad gameplay loop for the scenarios, and then the overall gameplay loop for the overall game, which is kind of going more and more towards a roguelike the more I work on it. Um, and then a bunch of potential ideas for mini games where I was just like, hey, I don't really like know what's best for communicating certain AI things, so I'm just going to throw this out here. And like, you programmer, please tell me which one of these you can do. And if you have any ideas, let me know. So we kind of brainstormed some of those things together, got some good, like, overall things that we can do because we're trying to teach with this game. So it's like, let's use mini games to teach these concepts, but how, like, I'm like, here I am being like, I hope that these are accurate. Like, I'm understanding the concept well enough for some of these more complicated things. And then, like, so it's like really complicated trying to be like, how do we make these educational concepts into kind of fun mini games so that people aren't just wading through like literally like 66 different terminologies in a single scenario. 67. um, so did that, and then with that done, they're like, cool. Like I was like, here's the next steps we could do, and they're like, give us outlines. So I'm like, cool. Here I am making outlines, but in order to make the outlines for the scenarios, I started making the outline, and I was like, this is like way too broad. There's way too many questions. I can't submit this because it doesn't tell us anywhere to go. So I have to put together the glossary. So I put together the glossary of all the terms and concepts that we're going to be communicating to the players. And then after I wrote it out, I was like, I need to organize these into lists for each of the different scenarios so that we know how many terms there's going to be for each scenario and which ones overlap. And if they're maybe overwhelming, can I move some concepts between the scenarios? And that's the step that I'm at right now, which is like, this is all just to say that like whenever you're creating anything, you kind of have a general idea of what you need to do next. Like, oh, I need to make an outline, but then you sit down to make the outline and you're like, turns out for this specific thing that I'm working on right now, I can't just sit down and make the outline. I actually have to go and like put together the glossary first so that I can link these educational concepts to the outline that I'm making. And then I can specify which conversations are going to happen on which gameplay day and which, all of this type of thing, and make sure that they're balanced out between the scenarios. So like an outline is not just an outline. And this is the process of, I find that this happens more with games than with like pure writing. It does still happen with pure writing though, because you never know, right? Like if you're writing something and you're like, oh, it turns out before I can even do this whole thing, I actually am going to go like spend a month reading about ancient Greek temples, because I can't even begin to sketch out this whole chapter before I have an understanding of what the day-to-day life was like in a Greek temple. And so you just like, you could just, it's one of those things that makes it both like exciting, but can at times be really crippling for me. Like it's one of the things that my brain, my anxiety brain likes to grapple onto is when like, or rather, let's rephrase that. If you have a creative block, if you have a writer's block or a creative block of some sort, this can be one of the places where it's originating from, is that you're like trying to do something that seems simple, like outline this chapter, draft this chapter, create this character. It seems simple, but when you try to sit down to do it, or when you try to make yourself do it, there's a huge level of resistance there, and you're not like really sure why there's resistance there. And a lot of the times when I run into that, and like my brain can build that up into this whole other complex because I have anxiety, so it can like, it can sometimes cripple me with certain things if I don't know exactly what I need to do next. But sitting down and being like, what, let me work backwards from like, I want to make this character profile. In order to like get to the end of making this character profile, here's what I would like to see. In order to be able to see that, I actually need to go do this kind of research first, or I need to put together this other list first. I need to figure out where this person lives first. You kind of work backwards from the end goal of like, what would I want to see in this character profile? And by doing that, you can kind of find those spots that your brain, like, you wouldn't have sat down being like, I need to go create, the school that this child goes to. before I could make this character profile. But when you work backwards, you're like, oh, I would be expecting to see a bunch of stuff about the school there, and I don't know anything about the school, so that's probably why I haven't been able to make any progress on this. That was my tip for the day. That was it. Cho'Gaths are in a lot of Cthulhu stories. Gotcha. Intelligent to some degree, but deal with problems using only their great size and strength. Yeah, that is very funny. Yes. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I was under the impression that Shoggoth was a like had a negative connotation within the AI community. Honestly, it's one of those terms that I haven't like a lot of these terms are more academic, so I've been able to do the academic research on them. But with the memes and stuff, I was like, I can get to that later. So yeah, there's a lot of terms. There's a lot of terms. Um, so man, though, I it's like I took an ethics and philosophy course as well as like an AI course. Like I just feel like I have such a breadth of knowledge now, and like what am I going to do with this knowledge outside of making this game? But it's there. It's one of the like fun side benefits of being a writer, I think, a storyteller, is that like if you're a curious person, I think it's a good profession because you're just going to be like, BRB, time to dunk myself into this stuff. Need the terms? Yeah. Well, yeah, part of since this game is educational and the whole point is to teach about these things. So my job is to like for example, we have a list of cognitive biases, and we're planning on like implementing them into the gameplay so that they're like you can call somebody out on maybe using a cognitive bias in a conversation. Um, and so that means it's my job to like get the list of cognitive biases, know which biases are which, and then figure out which conversations, which characters are going to use which cognitive bias in order to make them like instructional. And then from that, the gameplay extends because it like basically based on conversations in a lot of the scenarios, that's how you figure out what risks and benefits there are to a given decision your character might make. So the terms are deeply linked to the gameplay, which is what I realized when I was making the outlines. It's like, oh, I can't outline the game without knowing exactly which concepts are going to be in which conversations, and which concepts need to be there from the beginning, which concepts should be unskippable. One of those writer things that I can pull from now. Yeah, I will always have this extremely long list of like 200 different terms. So, yeah, yeah. I'll be so prepared for writing sci-fi, which we all know is one of my favorite genres. Yeah, but I'm really looking forward to, you know, being able to go off on my own by August. That's 4 months. That's fine. 4 months, 3 months. That's 3 months. It'll be tough, but I can do it. Okay. I can pull it off. Um, yeah. Creative problem solving. Anyways, I got distracted. I'm also embarking on the wonderful journey of learning both Japanese and German at the same time because I'm going to a wedding for my cousin in August also. So just, shout out to everything happening all at once. August is the year, is the month of the year. Everything is happening, and then after August, the year, nothing else happens. Yeah. Yep. I don't think I have anything else to share. There was a lot of like games and announcements that occurred, and I don't remember any of them because my brain just spat them out this morning when I woke up. It was just like, nope, Not anymore. Don't have that. What have you guys been up to? Um, was there not a, am I hallucinating? I thought there was like a big game announcement, but now that I'm trying to remember what the big game announcement is, I don't know that it existed. Maybe it was just something that felt emotionally big to me, but it wasn't actually a big game announcement. There's not been many announcements this year, thank God. Not that I've been catching up on my like game backlog. Instead, I played Story of Season Pixel Cross for 60 hours. That's what I did. Working a lot and playing I Was a Teenage Exocolonist. Excellent game. Highly recommended. Extremely highly recommended. Paper Mario was announced. The whole Baldur's Gate thing happened. I don't have any hope for Baldur's Gate 4. Um, I don't care about Paper Mario either. I didn't enjoy Paper Mario when I played it, but I'm glad that people like it and that people are excited about it. I'm glad that the Switch 2 is hopefully going to come out next year. Although I wonder how that's going to be since I have a Steam Deck. I'm not sure that I'm going to be into it. Cyberpunk, ooh. In-game guided meditation. That's cute. Baldur's Gate thing. Oh yeah, the Baldur's Gate thing. Well, Larian doesn't want to do Baldur's Gate 4, so like Hasbro has just immediately gone on ahead and like inked a thing, and we're like, Baldur's Gate 4 is happening. We're gonna find, people to build it. And like basically the talk amongst the fans is that part of the reason Larian doesn't want to do Baldur's Gate 4 is because while they were working on Baldur's Gate 3, when Wizards of the Coast laid off a bunch of people from the D&D teams, they laid off essentially every single person who had been in the meetings when Larian started work on Baldur's Gate 3. So all of the people who gave them permission to be like, yeah, you can just do whatever you want with the Dungeons and Dragons IP and we don't care, all those people got laid off. And that is implied, the fans think, to be one of the reasons that Laren didn't want to work on Baldur's Gate 4 is because these people, are different and they're obviously making worse decisions with the D&D IP. Um, yeah. So basically everybody's just believing that the fact that Hasbro was like so eager to jump to announcing that Baldur's Gate 4 is happening without having a studio to present, um, basically made everybody feel Baldur's Gate 4 is going to be trash. Which is fair. Which is fair. I don't know that the team who wanted to make it so that people couldn't play D&D online and film themselves doing it without paying them money is going to do a good job of having a good publishing relationship with another developer. I'm glad I'm working here instead. I have only heard bad things from people who used to work at Wizards. Um, I got like a job offer once from Wizards, and when I asked around, people were like, "Don't fucking do it." So, so I didn't. So that's yeah, that's that. Yeah, it's really not good from everything that I've heard on the inside of Wizards, which is a shame. You love to see when like new corporate people come in and just like burn something to the ground. It's happening in a lot of different places, but potentially long term, maybe good things will happen from, maybe they'll learn about the importance of the correct leadership. Um, yeah, the MKBHD video that showed the like 3D 360-degree treadmill. I'm very hyped for that. I'm so hyped for that happening. I'm hyped for the future for once. I'm hyped for the future of cool tech things. I'm also a lot less doomer about AI at this point because I don't know that we're close to generative AI. And as long as we're not close to generative AI, we don't need, or not generative, I'm sorry, general AI, then we don't need to worry about it pretty much. Because all these things that people think it's going to do are not really what it's going to do. So that's great. Um, Gotta wait for quantum computing to get here, and I don't know that it's going to get here soon. Um, yeah. MKBHD said in that video that it wasn't making him sick, but it was, since it's a prototype, it was really hard to walk on and all that stuff. So, yeah, yeah, we'll see. I so wish I could try the Apple headset. I so wish I could try it. I have no need need for one, but I really want to. Ow, Fury! Rude! You're not allowed to bite me or scratch me. You get kicked out. Go. That was rude. That was rude AF. I think she's got the zoomies. My brain is fried. Um, yeah. I'm sorry. I had a list of topics that I wanted to talk about for this stream, and I didn't write it down, which is not a smart thing to do. So I don't have a lot to share now. Um, yep. Yep, them's all the things. So I guess we can just shoot the breeze. Oh, it's sounding like static. Oh my. I am playing music. I guess it has rain on in the background. Maybe that's what it is. Can you hear it better? Angry wasp buzzing. Okay, here, let me pause the music. Does it sound better now? Or is the wasp buzzing still happening? It's very robotic sounding static. Okay. Oh, that was it. It's done. It's gone. Okay. Okay. Weird. Weird. Let me try to play a different and see, you tell me if it's better or if it's worse. This is Animal Crossing now. I did update OBS, so it's possible that that did something weird. It's turned up decently high. Oh, that's not Animal Crossing. Girl, what are you doing? This ain't Animal Crossing. Still staticky. Okay, let me. Okay, this is just piano, so if there's still static that you're hearing, then I guess we'll just go without any. No music, just static. Let me see if I can screen capture. Let me see if I can. Also, I turned it up, so let me turn it back down. Um, Screen capture properties. I wonder if what happens if it's even worse. Oh, jeez. Okay. All right. Well, we just won't have that now. This is why I was like, the Nancy stream will start around 2, but no promises. No promises in case something like this is happening. Sorry about that. A really upset Atari game. What? Yeah, no idea. I will delete that. I wonder if I try it. Let me try this audio capture, which wasn't working last time I tried it, but maybe it'll work now because I updated it. Let me see if it's doing anything. Oh my God, that's so loud. I'm so sorry. Hopefully that wasn't horrifically loud. I should have been more careful about that. Does that sound like music? Hi, Connor. We're troubleshooting briefly. Is that better? Or is it still static? If it's still static, I'll just delete. Oh, much better. Okay, good. Okay, good. Hopefully it's quieter after I turned it down. If you need me to turn it down more, I can. I can turn it down. I'll turn it down a little bit more. Just okay. There we go. Is that is that better? How are you doing, Connor? It does sound like music. Okay, it was sounding like static before, which I updated OBS and we traded out a screen capture for a actual audio capture that functions. So I guess we won out with that exchange in the end. Um, how you been, Connor? Fairy's meowing in the background. Hopefully you guys can't hear her. Um, yeah, and is there anything that anybody wants to chat about? Because my brain is like just shut down. It's just shut down. I didn't take my meds. Left work early. Hell yeah, hell yeah. That's exciting. Oh, Connor, I've been meaning to tell you that we played the hotel game. Actually, both games. This applies to both games, but especially the hotel game. We played the hotel game, and it feels like the satisfaction I personally get from it is very similar to Settlers of Catan. It's like a slightly more complicated Settlers of Catan. Ooh, have they have they started selling um, the things, the pre-order whatevers, yet? Because I know they said that they were gonna announce when that happened, but I haven't seen it happen. Uh, yeah. But yeah, it feels very Settlers of Catan to me, so we need to have you over to play it sometime soon. Although our next month is looking weird. Um, yeah, we'll have to schedule schedule something out with you. Oh, it's on sale now. Oh, you're like literally in this very moment. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Okay, I'll have to get in there and get in on that. It still plays on Mac, right? They're still, um, hopefully. Um, I guess I could always just bring out the gargantuan PC and like just stick it under my desk. Um, mm. Is there a lot of stuff going on for you and May as well? I mean, I know your birthday is coming, so that's probably meaning family and things like that. Um, yeah, 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 that's true. I guess I shouldn't be like signing myself up for too many things because I'm definitely going to be slammed with work and it's my own fault. It's my own fault. So I should anticipate that this month, next month, and it's like, oh my God, oh my God. Oh God, I hope I get most of this done before July. Otherwise, July is going to be an absolute dumpster fire. So maybe I should just plan on less socializing so that I can do more work and escape. Oh no. Oh no. Now that I'm thinking about this, I really need to sit down and plan out the rest of the year. This is complicated. Okay. Anyways. Oh man. Why is there so much happening in August? Anyways. It's fine. No stress. No stress. I'm so glad there's not a whole bunch of game releases happening this year. I'm so glad. Birthday, family, stuff like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That checks out. I'm gonna Don't mind me. I'm gonna start walking on my treadmill. I got a walking treadmill somewhat recently, um, because I basically never leave my apartment because it's loud out there. So I have a little treadmill so that I can like be a degenerate gamer and also walk while I'm gaming, um, which has worked. It's been a good situation. No stress. No stress. No stress. I mean, if you plan things right, you have no stress, right? That's the goal in the end, is to get no stress if you plan things out properly. Now you guys know what it's like to be in a meeting with me as well. Just like spontaneously, I rise. Oh shit. I've misplaced a thing. Um, are there any games that anybody is excited about coming out? I mean, you just said Smite, Connor. Um, just because Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door. Has anybody played the Peach's Shenanigans, Peach's Showdown, forget what it's, Showtime? Is that whatever it's called? Okay, I have a missing Apple Watch. Ugh. Well, probably fell out of my pocket. Okay. Anyways, hello. You have it, but you haven't played it. You heard it was just fine. Oh. Well, I guess just fine is better than bad, but Frostpunk 2 and Hades. Oh, yeah, Hades 2. Oh my god, I'm a Frostpunk. I need to get on the Frostpunk 1. It's been recommended so highly to me. There's so many ah, so many things to do, not enough time in the day. It would be easy if I could like if I was advanced enough in my German or my Japanese to play some games at the same time. Like I feel like that would make things a lot easier, but I don't trust it. I need to like play a Harvest Moon game in German. I feel like if I could do that, then I would actually like that would be fine. I could progress really fast in my German, but I cry. Those are yeah. Hades 2 is on my radar. Tales of the Shire. There's a couple of other farming games that are coming out that look interesting. Um, oh geez, what were they called? Um, I think it's like Tales of the Plum Grove or Secrets of the Plum Grove or something like that. I've been really looking forward to that, and I think it's coming out in a couple months. There's another farming game that was somewhat recent that I was like getting pretty hype about. But my farming game backlog is literally hundreds of hours long. So Immortal Life for right now is where I'm at, and hoping I personally become immortal by playing it. Yes. um, yeah. Does anybody else want to just like pause the year? I'd like to pause the year. I'd like to pause time, I think. I'm gonna check something really quick. You guys can see the messy living room. Hi, Terry. Yeah? Aha! I knew it. I knew it was there. Okay. Yeah, I don't have any like good or interesting news from the game industry either because all the news has been the exact same news that it's been for the last like little bit. They're remaking Age of Mythology. What do you mean? What do you mean? I would love. Oh my god, I love Age of Mythology. Hang on, I have to look this up. I mean, I guess they remade Age of Empires and like I guess that went well. Retold. Oh, retold. Add to wish list. Yes, ma'am. Oh, sick. These are all of our old faves are here again. Unleash the monsters. I wonder if they're gonna add anything new. Better with friends. I'm. Oh, I guess they made the AI better. Wow, it looks so pretty. Become an Age Insider. Sign up to the private forums. Interact with the developers. Hey, beta test our game. It's a privilege. It's not free labor, it's a privilege. Is this game relevant to you? Yes, ma'am. This game doesn't look like other things I've played in the past. I've I've played Age of Mythology on stream. What are you talking about, Steam? Steam doesn't know me at all. I've been rejected by Steam. Um, instead, Steam recommends me like what is it called, like a date with death, date to die, or something like that. So let's see what it thinks. Fallout One. Is it janky? I know that like the entire Fallout series has had a whole thing. I know I've like played it with you. I've played Age of Empires. Like I have no idea why they think that's not a thing, but okay. I guess everybody can be wrong. Everybody's entitled to being wrong. Sorry, I'm like stretching. Because for some reason walking is like I'm experiencing a cramp. Um, yeah, everybody can be wrong. Are there any like good movies coming out either? I know the Turtles All the Way Down movie is coming out soon. Um, what have people been talking about? What did kids even talk about in pop culture? I know that there's like a new K-pop band that came out that I don't know anything about, and I was like, it was like called Stray Kids, and when my friend texted me about it, I literally thought they were talking about stray children, and I was like, oh no. And it was the incorrect response. Janky because it's old. Dune 2 movie? Dune 2 movie? Was there a Dune 2 book? Did they like split the original Dune in half or like, oh, whatever. I don't know anymore. I don't know. Of course not. It's Hollywood. Let's make a two of everything. All right. Okay, I mean maybe it'll be good. Maybe Dune fans will like it. Dune is one of those things that I've looked at from the outside. It's like Evangelion. I'm like, all right, I don't have time for this. Because isn't Dune the book like thousands of pages long? I've always heard that it's really huge, and the movies are also huge. That's what I've always heard. Dune 2, yeah, that's what I thought. I mean, I've heard that it's like really good sci-fi. I've also heard it's kind of like a one of those like cynical crapsack world situations. I've heard it's had a really big influence on modern sci-fi. Oh, came out a month ago. Rave reviews. Okay, cool. Good. Good. I'm glad to hear it. Um, yeah, good. I feel like movies have been in a really weird place since COVID. Like, I feel like movies, I don't know if this is accurate. I don't know if movies have or haven't recovered. I feel like they haven't recovered because I don't hear people talking about them as much or like going physically to them because COVID was like, what if we release things not in theaters? And now it seems like that's kind of more common, but it's been messing with the industry or something, question mark. I don't really know. Um, Obviously, the Fallout show's been doing really well. I've heard that. Which is funny. I've heard some takes online from people about like basically like why are we saying that Bethesda is still a giant because they haven't put out a good game in literally years. But like Fallout has kind of revived their brand for them, so no, they definitely haven't recovered. Yeah, on Dune. Yeah, yeah. Well, hopefully, like, so said this at the beginning of the stream, but I left my studio, Connor. So now I'm almost a free agent. Once I finish this AI game, I will be a free agent and I will be able to like dedicate all my time to my own things, which is going to be exciting. Hasn't happened before. I've always taken on other jobs, so I'm excited to see what it's like to not have other jobs. Um, and I feel like that is going to be the time when I can actually, without guilt, dive into the things that I've wanted to investigate, not the giant list of research I've had to do to keep up with like the stuff that people are asking me to make for them. And much better it was than Dune 1. Nice. Free agent. Yeah. Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm going full steam ahead. I've gotten I've done some like personal internal work on like a bunch of different things. So like I've been able to make like really good progress in a lot of different areas that I had previously been stuck in. So I'm like full steam ahead on this. I'm gonna go so hard. Hopefully not hard enough that I hurt myself, but I'm gonna go so hard. I'm very excited about it. I can't wait. And yeah, hopefully there will be like actual fun stuff in the future because I'm so tired of not being able to share anything that I'm working on. So maybe I'll actually be able to share stuff. That would be fun. Wouldn't that be neat? To be able to like talk about the things that I'm making, that would be so cool. Yeah, I have to get to the end of this AI game because if I don't, I'm absolutely gonna just like not work on it in favor of this other stuff. So, if John Krasinski, that sounds really familiar. Maybe was there a trailer for this in like one of the movies we went to see? Oh my god. I Google if John Krasinski and all I get are like look at John Krasinski's buff body. This like giant purple interesting. 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 Thank you, Connor. I haven't watched the trailer yet. Yeah, cool. It seems like one of those concepts that's either going to go really well or it's going to be a steaming pile of poop because it seems like it's one of those like mixed reality, not fully animated, not fully not animated. So it's got Ryan Reynolds in it. He usually does a good job. He's usually funny. So sounds like there's not a lot of that's happening in the movie land. Are Marvel movies still coming out, or has everybody just given up on them? Deadpool and Wolverine, which I don't know. It's superhero stuff. Yeah, it seems like everybody's kind of over superheroes now. I wonder if COVID really just knocked that down. Detective Pikachu did it really well. That's true. Joker 2. Is that like the follow up to the Joker 1, which was like I hated that. I didn't watch it. I watched Jenny Nicholson talk about it, but like I knew a guy who literally acts like the guy in the Joker, so I can't watch it because that guy was an asshole and like it's too close to reality for me. Marvel movies have slowed down. Yeah, we do not at all. Nobody wants that. Except for the people who were watching Joker 1 being like, yeah, you should bomb them. They deserve it. So, I love glorifying assholes. We should do it so much more. That's clearly not having any negative effects on our society. Give me Frodo! That's what I want. Give me a Frodo, please. Give me my Frodos, my Samwise Gamgees, my Aragorns. Like, those are my heroes. Those are who I want to be like. Please. I'm I'm sure Hollywood will eventually correct itself, though. I don't think there's a way that this can. I feel like we're starting to kind of slide more towards the less cynical side of the scale. Ooh, oh, oh, okay. Yeah, if okay, so if Lady Gaga signed up for that, then that probably means that they're handling Harley in a good way because I don't think Lady Gaga would take that on if they were doing things that are weird with Harley Quinn, given Lady Gaga's own history. But um, oh, of course they are. I mean, that's like kind of cool, but it's also just like, oh yeah, I guess like let's just put out more cash cows. It's man, man, Hollywood. No slight to Lord of the Rings, but like, man, Hollywood really be grasping, like just for anything that they can find. They're really like, please. Um, a semi-musical. Okay, so he's insane in Joker 2, basically, and they're gonna go with like a whole avant-garde. It could go really well or really poorly. So at least they're taking a risk. A semi-musical is interesting. I mean, at least that's interesting. At least that's unique. Um, um, yeah. Wow. Okay. I'm looking at the future of the game industry right now in the chat. Like this about music, or about movies is like literally what's happening to the game industry right now, and I'm like, hmm. As usual with all the cycles, we reach the end of the cycle. Everything starts to feel stale. Everybody's vocally tired of it, and it's gonna like pivot to something else. Right. Did the strike ever get resolved in a satisfactory way? I feel like it got resolved. I don't know that the writer, like, because like I thought it got only kind of resolved. I didn't hear that it had ever fully resolved. Um, like I thought they struck a deal with the actors first. I don't remember. Certainly, I'm not hearing anything else about it, but that doesn't mean that it's not still happening because I stay in touch of news. I remember when the writer's strike happened and just like derailed everything when we were young. Writer's strike. Oh, Writers Guild of Canada is going on strike. Cool. 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 Striking everywhere. Won their deal first. Oh, okay, good. But, uh-oh. But, I don't like the but. Longest labor stoppage that the WGA has performed. Second longest. Oh, okay. It was the SAG after a strike, which is what I was thinking of. Mm. Yeah, I heard that. I thought I heard, or at least with voice, because like I heard the terms of the deal as it related to the games industry, which was that like you could take AI scans of like people's voices, but you basically would have to pay them for those AI voice lines as though they had come into the studio. So you're paying them the studio rate, just without them coming into the studio, which I think would still like technically a good deal for the game companies because a lot of what makes working with voice actors expensive is like getting the studio and like organizing that to fit in the rest of the schedule. Not as good. Yeah. Yeah, that checks out. That makes sense. Well, I mean good for the uh, Let's see. Blah 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 blah. Tell me what the deal was. Accepted the deal. Tell me what the deal is, guys. Guys, Wikipedia. Wikipedia. Are you going to tell me the summary of the history, or are you going to tell me what they got in the end? Guys. Okay, I'll have to dig to find out what the terms of the deal were, apparently. But I will do that after this. I'm glad the Writers Guild won. It's amazing how greedy Hollywood is. It's amazing how greedy they are, honestly. It's not like there's a ton of writers for every show. It's not like you've got like, oh no, there's 50 writers for every movie and a TV series, and we're not, like there's too many to pay them all fairly. Like, it's not like that's the situation. So it's wild. Anyways, I'm glad that unionizing is working. Yeah, yeah. I have a friend. Never mind. I shouldn't talk about that. Mandatory minimums. Oh, good, 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 good. Sounds like, well, there was an article I saw the other day that was talking about how, like, film and TV writing is um, dying, which is interesting that they would put out that article after this. So, sounds like still the writers' situation for TV and film might be a little bit better than the writer's situation for games. I guess it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm glad that they got a good deal, though. There is hope in the universe. Unionizing is good, turns out. I'm glad that we're. I'm glad that we, Joe Biden came in and was like, "Hey, do you guys remember unions?" And everybody was like, "We do, and in fact, we shall." That's good that that happened. Not that it's like Joe Biden who did it, but I do think that he kind of like popularized the concept in a way that made it a lot less stigmatized for people to start moving in that direction. Um, that's great. Yeah, no kidding. It's that way most places. Eh, well, I'm glad that they moved in the right direction. Yeah, it's definitely been a big help. Especially with like them going after like Starbucks, for example, and stuff like that. Like, whew, whew, some of the things we see. Workers fight back. We can do it. Yay, we can do it. Yep. Sorry. You ever have so many thoughts at once that your brain grinds to a halt? That just happened. I'm glad though. Hopefully that means that like eventually we'll get better shows and series and stuff, and we'll also, it would be nice if we could stop seeing that whole like, oh, nobody's gonna guess this ending, woo situation. Hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Honestly, yeah, and I do think that the Starbucks unionizations really helped popularize the concept as well, just because like they were the first unionizing effort that I saw a lot about, and maybe that is because I'm in Seattle, so like Starbucks started here, and we had some of the first areas start to unionize. So that could be definitely just a bias from that, but um, yeah, I feel like the overall like because when I was growing up, the concept of unions was like people were really anti-union. The people who should like unions were anti-union because they were seen as like ineffective and greedy. You know, a lot of the things that people who are anti-union want you to believe about unions would seem to be the common thought. And maybe that's because I was from Kansas, so it's not like they were going to be pro-union. But yeah, 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 yeah. It's because they were all planning on unionizing. So Starbucks was like, "What if we just close them?" And then the NLRB was like, "Bitch, you got to open those back up." So yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think it made people understand what could actually be done. And then yeah, having the Biden administration up in there backing people up instead of like, the former administration yelling at everybody all the time for the same thing. I think that did help. um yeah. Well, I'm glad that things are moving in the right direction in some areas. So, that makes it about an hour towards the end of the stream. I've got to get, I've got to like put, is there a deadline, Connor, for buying the Smite 2 thing? I've got to put that on my list of things to get. And then otherwise, the Nancy stream will be on the 11th. So I will be excited to see you guys there. And yeah, I think that's everything. I think I'll talk to you guys on the 11th slash next month, if not before, for all three of you actually. um, yeah, but thanks for coming. I will wait for just a second before ending this. But it won't be for a long time. Okay, cool. As long as I have enough time to get my next month's allowance, then it's all good. Thank you for letting me know, Connor. All right. Goodbye, everybody. Have a good day. Have a good evening. Have a good time. Take care. Bye-bye. Yeah. Yeah, there is. Okay, bye-bye.